welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about kind of a special pen, and it is a pen made by Right Turns for the Black Pen Society. This is the 2022 version. Apparently there was another version last year also made by Right Turns, and it is a society that is just a group of people that love black pens. Now there is a statement of ownership here with this pen. I'll show you the pen in a second, which has information about the Black Pen Society. So I'm going to put it up on the screen in a second when we switch a shot, so I don't get anything wrong. Now here's the pen. It is a black pen. It is the Black Pen Society pen, so it has to be a black pen, and it has this nice clip, and I'm going to show you this pen up close and talk about it for a little bit. Anyway, let's switch shot. All right, of course here we have the pen, but we also have this pamphlet thing that came with the pen. Brownie sent it straight to me, and if you want to read it, just pause the video. I'm not gonna just like read it out for you guys, but this is kind of the story behind this pen. Now this is the second Black Pen Society pen apparently made by Right Turns, and it is a lovely pen. It looks really nice, it's sleek, it feels really good in the hand. It's weird because I've tried to look up what kind of material this is, but it isn't very clear to me. It feels kind of like ebonite. It doesn't really feel like normal resin, but as I said, I'm unsure. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. Now here we have that coppery clip, which is really cool looking. It's very like tight to the body, as you can see, and that shape is just beautiful. I love how they did that. And then this is like a sword shape to me, or a tie maybe. That's also really cool. Clip. Try using it. It is extremely tight, and I don't know if that is good or bad. Maybe if you're really worried about losing your pen, having it that tight is great, but I find it really hard to actually use. So I would say that is a kind of downside to that. On the top of the cap, we have this lovely sort of finial with a crow on it. And now I have been reading about this a little bit. The Black Pen Society gives out a pin every year to the members, and this year in 2022 it was apparently a pin of a crow. So they put the bird on this cap, and it's very lovely. It says Black Pen Society 2022, and it's all around super cool looking, and I love those little touches of like copper color with the whole like black pen. Now I have this TWSBI Eco lying here so I can show you the size. It's a very decently sized pen. Length is not much longer than the TWSBI Eco, but I have to say that this is thicker, it's girthier, and it's honestly really nice to hold. Cap is a screw cap, which is nice and secure, and it has a whopper of a nib right there with the Right Turns logo on it. Now, I've seen that this pen came with a rose gold steel nib. However, this is a 14K nib, so I'm assuming that the purchaser of this pen, which is not me, that is Brownie, had it upgraded to a 14K nib. And I'm really excited to try out how it writes. There is no size indication on this nib, and I don't know what nib size it is. When I look at the tipping, it doesn't look super big, but we'll see in the writing how it actually is. But yeah, it's a really big nib. I'll actually grab the Eco for you guys so you can see the difference, because it is actually really big, and it's lovely on this like girthy pen. Having a big nib is really great. It's very comfortable in the hand. Material feels lovely and warm. Threads are not sharp, but the section is quite big, so you really don't need to like ever touch that. But anyway, not sharp, and it just feels really good. Posting, I would be a little hesitant because there's of course threads in the inside, but I'm gonna gently try it. It's possible you can post this pen, but it becomes like a bat, and it becomes back heavy a little bit. I would say you really don't need to do this, but to each your own preference. As you know, I'm not a poster, so I would never like choose to do that. This pen cartridge converter came with a converter. That's a lot of turns to actually unscrew it. It's a Schmidt converter. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's just I think it's just standard international. So any converter would fit. But yeah, decent ink capacity. I don't know if you could eyedropper this. Because of this material, I don't know if it's porous or not. There is no metal on this, so that's an indication that you might be able to, but I wouldn't do it because it's a cool special pen. Pricing on this, I honestly do not know. I'm assuming it was quite expensive because it is a custom-made pen. If you are interested in Right Turns pens, you can always check their website. I'll link it down below. But yeah, custom pens are generally not very cheap, so keep that in mind. But you get a lovely, lovely pen from it. Like, this is really nice. It feels so nice to hold. I can't explain it. Like, plastic is cold, and this just doesn't feel cold. It's a really warm feeling material. It's gonna be funny if it's just plastic, but it just doesn't feel like that. It just feels really good. Anyway, even though I am not like a part of the Black Pen Society, I would say this is a really cool pen. Now, I'm excited to try the nib. Of course, you've seen that I had it uncapped for a while, so if it doesn't start up right away, it's not because of the nib, it's because it's been uncapped for a while. The ink I have in here is Diamine November Rain, which is a sheeny ink, so it might dry up a little quicker on the nib. Oh, and one last thing, I want to show you the feed. I love this type of feed. It reminds me a lot of a Pelikan feed, like an old school Pelikan feed, but also the new ones. It's all darn cool. Okay. Yeah, I expected this. Let me cut real quick. All right, we are back with a writing pen. Black Pen Society. Right Turns. Still a little dry. I have to admit, I didn't clean this pen before inking it. I should have, because machining oils can get into the feed and stuff, but I'm a lazy person, so I didn't do that. Actually using this nib, I thought I wasn't gonna be broad. I would say it's a medium broad, and it's not super stiff actually, which is nice. Downstrokes, it is a little dry. Side strokes, the same, like it's a regular rounded nib. And then you can definitely like push it a little bit. Now, I'm not pushing it super far as it's not my pen, and I can't really do that. It wouldn't be very nice of me to mess with a nib that is not mine. But my suspicion is because that nib is so big and the feed is not covering all of the nib, there might be some extra flexibility there, because like there's no like support on there. At first I thought the nib wasn't seated correctly, but it is, because like there is no like movement in there, so it's seated correctly, but it's just an interesting way to make a nib. Pelikan kind of does that too, so it is lovely, and I love the material. Like, that's my main takeaway. And I don't know, like, it might be plastic, might be ebonite. It feels kind of like ebonite, so maybe. I did some research on this pen, but I couldn't like find it, so if I find it, I'll put it in the editing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed a look at this special pen. I like reviewing pens that aren't like standard, even though they might be a little harder to get, but it's really enjoyable to like use a variety of writing instruments. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.